The top 10 strange Halloween facts. 10. Backwards clothing may give you witch vision. Supposedly, if you wear your clothing backwards or inside out and can walk backwards at the same time, you might just catch sight of a witch zooming by you on Halloween night. 9. Poisoned candy. One of parents' biggest fears is that their children's Halloween candy is poisoned or contains razor blades. In reality, this fear is almost entirely unfounded. There are only 2 known cases of poisoning, and both involved relatives. In 1970, a boy died of a heroin overdose. The investigators found it on his candy, but in a twist they later discovered the boy had accidentally consumed some of his uncle's heroin stash, and the family had sprinkled some on the candy to cover up the incident. Even more horrifically, in 1974, Timothy O'Brien died after eating a pixie sticks his father had laced with cyanide to collect on the insurance money, according to Smithsonian Magazine. 8. Bring the evil out. Studies have shown that Halloween actually makes kids act more evil. This psychological term explains what happens when a group of maturing young minds begin to care less about the consequences of their individual actions, leading them to do things that they might not do alone. 7. Jack-o'-lanterns were once made out of turnips, beets, and potatoes, not pumpkins. For folks living in the British Isles, jack-o'-lanterns were a fairly well-known commodity, but they weren't carved out of pumpkins. Rather, they were made from turnips. While that may not sound like Halloween to today's fans of the costume celebrations, turnip pie will probably never replace pumpkin pie. Turnips used to be the real deal. Immigrants to the New World began using pumpkins as a less expensive alternative, and ever since these large orange squash have become a symbol of Halloween. 6. Black cats. Some animal shelters won't allow the adoption of black cats around Halloween for fear they'll be sacrificed. It's unclear whether black cats are actually sacrificed around Halloween, but various animal shelters refuse to let people adopt these cats in the lead up to the holiday. 5. Halloween is more Irish than St. Patrick's Day. Celts believe Samhain was a time when the wall between our world and the paranormal world was porous and spirits could get through. Because of this belief, it was common for the Celts to wear costumes and masks during the festival to ward off or befuddle any evil spirits. 4. Halloween bonfires. Reaching way back into the past, when Halloween was known as Samhain, setting light to a bonfire was a kind of sun worship, preparation for the long, dark winter ahead. Animal bones were often thrown onto the huge blazes as a sacrifice. Thus, bonfires became bonfires. Embers from the fire were carried home in turnips. Sound familiar? After the huge blaze died out, bonfire embers were signs of good fortune. 3. Jack-o'-lantern. According to Irish legend, jack-o'-lanterns are named after a stingy man named Jack who, because he tricked the devil several times, was forbidden entrance into both heaven and hell. He was condemned to wander the earth, waving his lantern to lead people away from their paths. 2. Halloween is the second most commercial American holiday of the year. The candy industry in America rakes in an average of $2 billion annually thanks to Halloween. That's 90 million pounds of chocolate. 1. Halloween movie. Because the film had an incredibly low budget, the prop department on horror classic Halloween had to dress serial killer Michael Myers in the cheapest mask they could find in their local fancy dress shop. Turns out that was a mask of William Shatner, which cost them the princely sum of $2. They modified it a bit, spray painted it white and made it a bit scarier, and it became one of the iconic images of horror cinema.
Thanks for watching and hope you enjoyed. Check out one of these videos and don't forget to subscribe to support more videos.